A small company has put a lot of time and money into the development of a new battery technology. They have secured a potential contract to supply these batteries to a large producer of mobile phones. A demonstration has been scheduled, and that demonstration consists of a random selection of 200 batteries that will be tested for voltage and discharge rate. The day before the demonstration, an employee discovers a potential issue. He is not certain, but he believes that a recent modification in the production process may cause a reduction in the capacity of the battery that would cause the demonstration to fail. The company cannot afford a failed demonstration. The following diagram shows their alternatives and potential outcomes. So we have a table here, and what we have is the choice that they can make to demonstrate now or to postpone the demonstration, and then the statement of what the true condition of the battery production process really is. Does the process produce a product that is defective, or does it produce a product that is not defective? Now, when we combine these potential decisions with these potentials for what the actual statement of the production process is, we wind up with what we are going to refer to as errors. If we demonstrate now and the product is defective, that is bad. That would be an error. If the product is defective and we postpone the demonstration, then that is not an error. That is good. If the product is not defective and we demonstrate now, that is good. That is not an error. If the product is not defective and we postpone the demonstration, that is bad. That would be an error. So two of these combinations represent error, and the worst that can happen, the worst error, is to demonstrate a defective battery. When we demonstrate something that is defective, it creates a doubt that the potential for success does not exist or is minimal. The company would certainly strive to minimize the potential for this error. So in other words, the probability that this would happen, we would want to minimize that. The other error would be to postpone the demonstration of a product that is not actually defective. Now, while that creates doubt also, at least we're not in a situation where someone has seen us demonstrate a defective product. It is very common to relate this process to the American judicial system. A defendant is presumed innocent until it can be shown beyond the shadow of a doubt, and that's a very key phrase there for us to keep in mind, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that he or she is guilty. 12 people must declare that the evidence removes that doubt. Now, again, we have what can possibly happen with the jury, what their choices are. They can either convict or acquit. If they convict an innocent person, that is bad. If they acquit an innocent person, that is good. So we have here, convicting an innocent person is an error. Acquitting an innocent person is not an error. Convicting a guilty person is not an error. That is good. Acquitting a guilty person is an error. That is bad. But the worst thing that we can think of from a moral standpoint is to convict someone that's innocent. The most horrifying thing, I think, that this defendant could imagine if they are innocent would be that they would go to jail when they didn't do whatever they're being accused of. So in these errors, convicting an innocent person, this is the worst possible error, and again, its potential should be minimized. So this process should be carried out so that the probability that we would convict an innocent person would be minimized. And then the other error would be to acquit a guilty person, which again is an error. You're putting someone with the potential to commit further crimes back out on the street. Recall that the defendant is presumed innocent until the evidence removes the shadow of a doubt. Now, when we go on trial, it can't be absolutely proven that someone is guilty or innocent because the offense has already occurred and it's impossible to go back in time unless it's been videoed. It's impossible to go back in time and view the offense. And even video can be altered. So there's always the element of doubt. And what has to be done if you are going to convict someone of a crime is that potential for convicting an innocent person is minimized. To convict an innocent person is to reject a true assumption. Again, we assume that the person is innocent until proven guilty, or in other words, that the shadow of a doubt can be removed. So when we convict them, we reject that they are innocent. And if they are actually innocent, then we are rejecting a true assumption. Now, this is a phrase that we want to keep in mind, to reject a true assumption. In hypothesis testing, this would be called a type 1 error. To acquit a guilty person is to fail to reject a false assumption. Another phrase that we want to keep in mind. So we're either going to reject a true assumption or fail to reject a false assumption when we commit errors. In hypothesis testing, this would be called a type 2 error.